Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Dingus Hammer. It's gonna be a quick morning episode just before my work. I found myself with some time on the hand. I played a game with new warriors against the new beasters. Of course, all the lists are brand new and fresh. All the armies got point changes. Some got reworked, like Kingdom of Aquitaine. I got Sean on UB to for a game. Actually, he messaged me if I want the game and said sure. So this is the deployment. It was diagonal deployment, refuse flank, and hold the center. So I deployed like that on the top side, kind of aggressively. So I have Ancestor on the left and Warrior Knights unit of dogs, Warriors with Lust, Wizard with Evocation, Heirloom, warriors over here, they have the icon um, unit of 9 barbs with full command and a banner of speed, dogs, Feldrex with halberds, which I forgot that they were halberds. I thought they were pair weapons. I'm used to playing more of with the pair weapons from back in the day, and the Eldar on the flank over here. And my opponent deployed like that. He basically let me have the secondary objective. He was playing obviously for the counter charges. So on my first turn, I pushed up. I pushed up kind of hesitantly. I gave him one charge, long charge with the dart of the Minotaurs. Okay, maybe I should say what he has. He has two darts of Minotaurs with great weapons, one big unit of Minotaurs with hand open shield, with two character warlords. BSB and the general. They have one has the Syndical, the other one has regen. I think the Syndical have blessed inscriptions. The big unit of herd to raiding chariots unit wizard on the chariot with the thing that you have to reroll successful to wound against him and shamanism, and two units of cyclops. So on my first turn, the only thing that I'm able to get is large hereditary spell on his chariots, and I'm able to put only one wound through his armor saves. So on his turn, he backs up. It's like, well, screw it. I didn't give him any charges really. All the charges were pretty long. The only one over here he didn't decide to take, and he moved like that. So basically, he kind of backed up. That's actually moved. Yeah, he moved back, and he tried to cast Totemic Summon, which he tried with 3 dice. He failed. And then the next spell I just dispelled myself. Especially since I'm not sure when he tried. No, he tried, I think, big totemic summon with 3 dice or something like that. Anyway, no, whether it was big or small, he failed it with 3 dice. So on my turn, I pushed up again. And here is what the mistake that couple of mistakes I did. So I got within 18 inches with my warriors to cast some more spells over here. Basically, my game plan is. So basically, this is where I finished yesterday. I think I was talking about what was my plan during the game. Pretty much, the plan was that after he deployed to push farther the bottom part of my army, where I had warrior knights and a big ancestor guy, because this is where his weakest side is. The thing that scared me the most, probably the wizard. The thing that you have to reroll the successful to wound, and that he has shamanism. So in challenge, I want him on 5+, and then also the fact that he has a ward save 5 up over there. So altogether, it was just I wanted to play it smart so that his chariot could not charge by any chance into my Feldrek. I also was afraid of those charges from the chariots from the hill, and then there are the two cyclopses to support. But I still thought that in the end, this is the side that I can push because there are characters over here, bunch of minotaurs, darts. So I was like, well, over here I need to set up the position that I can have a perfect charge on him, and if I do, I can win that. But until then, the plan was to retreat, even flee if I need to just get the hell out. Hopefully rally on the 9 of general somewhere close by. Just don't let those points. I have a secondary objective in my hand. He has a hard time approaching me. I have a pretty much surround over here, so he cannot just go in and contest the secondary objective. It's very hard to do once you lose it on the diagonal. So anyhow, on what happened is I shuffled around the Eldar. He from previous one he pushed forward the Minotaur Dart. As you can see, he pushed it for my small Fieldrix. So I considered it for a while whether I want to charge, but there is the character in there. I didn't have a good setup. I didn't have too far for magic support, so I thought, well, what I'll do is I'll chaff him with the wolves, circle around with the Eldar, just continue dancing around, cause bunch of frenzy checks, and if he managed to charge and somehow overrun anything into the brick, I'll have my lord pretty nice counter charge. I'm setting my barb horsemen. They're actually facing forward. I just move the lord out, so that's how they are. I was able to release the hounds and chaff the chariots, including the wizards. I was able to push the ancestor. I was like, well, charge me with those two chariots. Those two chariots should not get in and kill me, shouldn't do substantial damage. And if he joins in with the giant, then all the better for me. I'll win the combat. I'll chase him down. Probably. I hope so. I have a brave weapon and all that. Also, if this was 15 inches, so he needed 8 on 2 dice, it was risky. I was just kind of baiting him with having my knights kind of there as a support for counter charge. In case I don't break them, I don't win the combat, there will be position over here. I would have a nice flank charge. So that was that. What was that? I don't know, turn 3, I believe, or something like that for me. And he decides not to charge anything that I thought he would charge. He charges the unit of manglers into the flank of my wolves, which is fine by me. You know, I have a pretty good surround over here. He decides not to charge the wolf. This is critical how he positions my Eldar to trying to block my Eldar, because he opened up a couple of things for me in the next turn. He jumps his lords out, which is like, well, fine, you know, as I can maybe put some magic on them, you know, and stuff like that. So what he opened up for me was a bunch of charges that I think, yes, this is the part where I'm missing the picture. I'm trying to do a few things at the same time, save the picture, play the game, and also I was trying to keep track of how long it takes for each of us to take turns, you know, trying to play a little faster. So what happened over here is that he gave me a flank charge for my Portent of Doom Lord into the Minotaurs. I need an 8. He gives me auto in for my Fieldrex. In order to do that, I need to get rid of the wolves. I have two choices. I have a choice to go into this dart, or I have a choice to go into this dart over here. And if I go into the farther back dart, I can join my Eldar into the combat, which is right now he's chuffed, and he will be able to fight only 2 instead of 3 Minotaurs. So that gives me a much better chance to actually survive this fight. And if I release the hounds, because I have not released the hounds on those walls yet, I'll have also 6 attack, strength 4. Who knows, maybe I'll be able to put a wound through, you know. After the combat over here, he cannot reform in a way that he can see everything in the front, so I'll have flank charges and front charges with, you know, warriors with parapets. That's pretty good, even if I'll take a couple of DTs. And if anything fails, he has those 2 characters over here, so I'm not gonna charge with the barb horsemen because I'm gonna use them for chaff, so those 2 guys will not do anything. There's a plan, like weaken them until the point that I can kill them, or have them not do anything. Like they're scary. They just have a lot of attacks and hatred, and you know, all the battle focused stuff. So like they just dish a lot of damage. There is no point to be fighting them unless I'm sure that I can. Fairly sure, of course, it's the dice game, but fairly sure that I can win the combat. So what happened is I was able to get the flank charge on the Minotaur Dart. Of course, I was able to get a front charge over here. I was able to get a front charge with my ancestor into the front over here. I was not able to join the warrior knights. I chose instead to use the icon of infinite. That probably was a mistake on my part, but I was not feeling like I can actually break their steadfast, and having one unit on the side would open up those charges. He could charge in with the chariot, and then the question becomes, who do I take the challenge with? I probably take the first challenge with the champion, and then the second challenge I take with my ancestor, which leaves him with a combat res of 3 ranks, and then depends on how many kills I can get with my warrior knights. It gets sticky, and then he can get some flank charges and stuff like this to add bonus to his combat res. It was just risky. So what happened is I failed the charge on an 8 Swift Ride with the Portent of Doom guy, and that was huge. He was able to stop the reroll to hit. I failed the end reroll to wound. I think he started. No, I failed to reroll to wound because I put so much dice in the roll to hit, and I was only able to get -1 discipline, -1 toughness, which didn't matter because I forgot I have halberds. It didn't matter much. I mean, it could have mattered with him failing maybe his hatred thing, but it did not. So basically, this is what happened afterwards. He won the combat by 2. I failed my 7 leadership. I fled. He reformed. I even put a wizard out to buff those guys, and he basically didn't pursue. He reformed, declared another charge against the Felderex to push them out of the board, and then redirected into my wizard. He has the Blackwing Totem on them, and that was a reason why also charging was with those Felderex was so bad. He actually hit me first. He did 9 wounds. I did 5 wounds to him. He didn't have a standard, so that's why I lost by 2. Failing the Portent guy on Nate Swistride was huge. So he declared a charge. The Felderex fled off the board at this point. He declared a charge. He has extra movement. I don't know whether he didn't declare the charge against the hero, but he probably might have not won the combat there. Especially since he still have the stone thing that discards the first hit, so he declares against the wizard, and with +3 movement I have to flee. Over here, on the bottom he declares a challenge. I win the challenge, and he still positions over here. I win the combat with the wolves. Wolves pursue and catch the dart. They actually roll like bosses. They do 3 wounds to the dart. He saves 1, and then the attacks against the Eldar happen, and he does 6 attacks. He does 3 wounds out of them, so pretty darn good. I think I even saved 1 of them. Oh, over here on the top combat, there was funny thing that happened. The UB dice spiked. He had 11 rerolls to hit, and out of the 11 rerolls to hit, he rolled 7 battle focuses. We looked at those dice like, damn. Okay, well that happened. That also swung the fight a lot in his favor. Not that to say he would win it eventually in his turn, because he would have all the magical support. I had to win the fight in the first turn. So bummers, right? So he charges only the giant into front. I positioned my Eldar over here just so that his wizard was in front, so he was unable to charge me there. I have not used the breath weapon yet because, what's the point? And he moves his characters. He charges me again over here. He moves his characters just like, yeah, charge me over here or charge me into this guy. I'll win the combat and I'll counter charge, right? And then he moves the other guy with the regen. He doesn't want to have anything to do with the Portent guy, so he moves him to face the other Eldar, and he moves the giant like so to just throw some stuff and protect the flank. Giant Cyclops. Sorry, the whole time I was saying giant, those were Cyclops. But the thing is, those Cyclops didn't do anything. The whole game didn't hit. They hit partial hit once and didn't wound, so they are really not relevant until this point. They're pretty much giant with ward saves. I rally my wizard. He wins the combat. Okay, there's another part that I'm missing. He wins the combat with the barbarians, but barbarians are able to stick on the steadfast from the lord, and he doesn't notice one thing. in when he positions everything. That I have a Potent of the Doomlord over here, and he can see his Cyclops over here, and I'm in his flank. So I can go straight forward at the Minotaurs, make a right turn, and charge the flank of him. And this is what I chose to do. I chose to charge the flank of the Cyclops, and chose to charge this flank of his big herd unit. I need an 8 on 2 dice, so again, those 8s, right? They're hunting me this game. The Lord has like 6, and I'm praying like, please get this charge. You know, I just need something to go my way to start swinging this combat back because I'm losing pretty bad. I mean, I have a secondary objective one, so I can start hiding stuff and not charging things. You know, but it's a friendly game and like on UB, and what's the point of doing that? And then I would lose probably by like 5 to 15. So the only way to climb back right now after losing so down with those Feldrex was to get creative with charges again. And here is what comes out of this next. I am able to win the combat with his Cyclops. I overrun into the big brick. I am able to, between the attacks from the Lord, attacks from the Ancestor, Breath Weapon, Thunderstorm, I've cleaned this unit up perfectly. And I did now another of my smart things, because I know all the books so well and all the armies. I thought that, oh hey, he's gonna have to charge me and take DTs on his chariots. Yes, be sure taking DTs in the forest with their chariots. Yes, smart. Go me. Right, such a skill. I was able to charge also the dart, because he positioned the dart, if you look at it, too far back, so I'm able to fight only against 2 guys. So I'm like, well, charge flank, big flank, and I'll do a couple of wounds, and I'll win the combat. He probably will. Hopefully I'll kill 1 base, and he'll probably not be able to put much hurt on my Eldar. Well, turns out that 1 guy with 3 attacks can do 5 hits and do 2 wounds. So that's what happened, and I won the combat, but I won the combat by not a lot, and he's able to not only stay there, but also reform. And that's an oh shit, I lost my Eldar moment. I could have danced around, not do it, but well, I will thought that I tried it, and I'll try to then get somewhere else, overrun, I think, over here, and just get outside of his line of sight. I thought he was facing the other direction. It kept messing up with me. Where is he looking at? And I didn't ask him, which was my mistake, actually. So that's where we're looking at right now. And he decides to charge. So, oh my gosh, he charges Wizard into my Lord. I challenge, because I get 1+1 combat rest if I win the challenge, and what's the point of not challenging? And he charges the other chariots into my Eldar, and he doesn't do much. So basically what happens is he charges the Eldar over here. So what happened is the Lord actually wins the combat against the chariot. The chariot puts only 1 wound. By this time I failed my DT, so I lose my stone for for the DT. But I made between the armor saves and the war saves, he put only 1 wound through, and with a reroll to wound, I mean the successful to wound against his wizard, I'm still able to put 1 wound through, and D3 wounds causes him to take 3 wounds. So that's where we are right now, and he loses the combat against the Ancestor. Ancestor goes just ham on this guy. He just is not able to put much through, just 1 wound. Flees from the combat. I'm not able to catch him, so here we are. He pushed the Minotaurs against the Wizard, and he faced his character just like so he can take the center of the board, just kill stuff over here, because there was a combat with the Ancestor. I thought he rightfully thought that he would stick again over here, so that the guy would be able to charge Ancestor and hopefully kill me. But he loses the combat. I'm not there anymore, and so I'm able to abuse again his positioning by charging the flank of his wizard for extra combat rest. Charge flank, big flank, and a banner, extra 4 combat rest. That's always nice. He puts too far his Minotaur dart, so I am able to put my wizard over here. He loses the combat with the wizard. He flees. I am unable to catch him with both of my units. That's a bummer. And he basically what happens is he charges the barbarians that were over here behind the ancestor. They flee. He charges them again. They flee again. He redirects into warriors. They flee. He doesn't want to have anything to do with the portent guy. And I am able to get myself into the combat with that Cyclop, and that was a mistake because I am unable to kill him with 2 rounds of 9 strength 7 attacks, and he is able to put enough wounds on me to get half the point for the combat. I backed off, of course, the knights because he got a Break the Spirit on me, so I'm like, there is no way I'm charging. He got twice the Break the Spirit of those knights, so twice they were not able to do much this game. So they just reformed, back off, and it's like, come at me, bro, right? You know. This is super long charge, you're not gonna probably get it, but if you do, then I have challenge and steadfast, so let's try that. And that's where the game ends. We tie 10-10 with 8 small points difference, and I have secondary objectives, so I win 13-10 for the new warriors. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. It's good to be back again and getting some games that I can actually put pictures on and do a little battle report. So thanks for watching. Bye.